don't want to take the time to go ourselves or take our neighbor to the polls, and I indict myself too. That is not just someone else's problem, that's my problem. Granted, I didn't vote for Gabrielle Giffords or Barack Obama, but I've not done near enough to protect this country in the past at the ballot box. Not near enough, and I'll never be on the wrong side of that again. Not ever.
Yes. How do you feel about all the laws? Congress isn't they don't apply to Congress at all. They write them for us, but they don't write them for them. So what would your stance be on that?
My stance is that stinks.
Yeah.
That's my stance. Look, James Madison wrote about this extensively in the Federalist Papers about how important it was for Congress to live under the laws that it passes. It's one of the only things that will keep them in check. It actually started long ago with the income tax that they exempted themselves from it. And from there, they've just beaten us to death because nothing applies to them and everything applies to us. And you know what? That vacation that the First Lady just took, it does matter. It does.
Yeah.
Over $300,000 of our money, while there's over 17% real unemployment in this country. Are you kidding me? This is the let 'em eat cake Congress and presidency. It is. They live high on the hog, and we're suffering out here. And they convince you that forcing you to buy health insurance or putting you in prison or paying a fine is the solution? They should be embarrassed, and shame on them. And shame on us if we can't get the courage to do something about it.
Along those lines, this business that is seeming to go in rapid, the czars, how are they funded? Who approves that kind of funding?
The president will get that funding approved through Congress. Congress approves all funding. That is why the House of Representatives is so important. It's more important than the Senate because all the funding comes through the House. Meaning if we take back the House with conservatives who actually have a backbone, we can stop so much of this because we can defund it. The czars, though, it won't happen. That's simply one of those things you're going to have to suck it up and take it because we have a spineless Senate and we have a president who will want 1 million of them. Until 2012, Lord willing, we can get a good conservative president in there and they'll go away. But look, there's a lot of things we're going to have to suck up right now, and that's one of them. Another thing is just don't watch the news until January at this point in time. I'm serious. You think it's bad now? You wait until after November when over 60 Democrats are going home. And that lame duck Congress, they're going to use that to cram through every piece of horrifying legislation you can possibly imagine. So after November 2nd, we're going to celebrate a good win that night and then just hide under your bed for 2 months. And leave everything off. Just turn off all electronics and come back in January and we'll deal with it. It's going to be ugly. Get ready for it. It'll be fine. One second, ma'am.
I come from Illinois and lived most of my life in Chicago politics.
Yes, ma'am.
And what are we going to do to ensure that we get an honest election? Because they're not going to let it happen.
I understand that. Well, she asked what we're going to do to ensure an honest election. That's why we need poll watchers, especially down here in Cochise County, because I hear the stories that you will tell me. It's a problem down
They
here.
knew right off that they had Obama plan for a one-term president, but they're aiming to sweep Hillary in behind her. She's also from Illinois, Chicago politics. Deeper and deeper than he is. And it'll be an even worse problem than we got with him. So if we don't get a good, honest election, that's not.
I agree. Well,
And they're
I
going to
mean,
do everything they can to figure out a way to.
you're right, they are. I mean, they're even going to swing billy clubs at little old ladies in Philadelphia. And then the Justice Department is going to drop the case. That is how committed they are to winning elections. Let's understand that and be committed ourselves. Not swinging billy clubs at people, but understand what they'll do. We're going to have to do a lot too.
They'll throw Obama under the.
My wife and I have been arguing about some question. He says you shouldn't need to answer it. You made an opening for me to dive right in there. McCain,
Yeah.
JD, and Deegan. Who do you support?
JD here.
Why?
I support J.D. Hayworth. First of all, I'd like to say Jim Deacon's a good man, very good man. J.D. Hayworth has a great conservative voting record. He does. He's getting pounded on right now. That's life. But I'll take someone who not only says they're a conservative, but has that record to prove it over someone who got conservative in the last 6 months now that it's Tea Party time.
Isn't he a professional politician?
He is, but also let's not forget the fact that politics, someone has once told me, and I don't like, actually I can't believe I'm about to use these words because I always stop the Republicans that say this. So don't throw anything at me. I hate what I'm about to say. Politics is the art of the possible right now. J.D. Hayworth has near perfect records on taxes, spending, the border, life, these other things that matter so much to us as conservatives. He has a proven record of doing those things for it, and he has at least a chance to win it. All right. Now, half my staff support Jim Deacon because Jim Deacon's such a great guy. I have nothing bad to say about the guy. I do, but the only chance we have right now is here. The only chance we have, and that's why. See, I told you I'd be honest. You don't have to duck from any question. I'll tell you. I told you to know who you're voting for.
I have a question about the,
Yes, ma'am.
even though he's a staunch conservative,
Yes, ma'am.
he has made a lot of bad choices in his private life for employment.
Yes, ma'am.
Sponsors. With all the bad choices he's made, how do we trust him to make the right choices when he gets there?
Well, when I said I supported JD, she asked about JD's bad choices in his personal life and his employment and those other things. Look, when I said I supported JD Hayworth, that did not mean I said he was Jesus Christ. He's got plenty of problems, plenty of baggage, be the first one to admit it, and I don't think he's perfect. And he's not one of my mentors or people I really look up to politically. He's better, and he's a conservative, and that's why. That's why. I'm not worshiping the guy, I'm not carrying his torch.
What about the
Better.
person running?
Possible.
More possible.
Better and possible in both matter. Both matter. Look, Ronald Reagan could rise from the dead today and run for Congress in this district and not get elected if he couldn't raise the money to do so. And that is the truth of the matter. Possible matters. It does. Now we can say, in principle, we can sit up in this theoretical ivory tower and act like it doesn't, and hold our nose at the polls and write in Darth Vader because you don't like the other two. That you better stop that, or we're in a lot of trouble. It's like these third parties. It sounds great. Hey, Republicans tick me off. Let's start with a third party. If the third party pops up in this country, and I fear that it will, if Republicans don't get their head on straight, we are finished. Ross Perot elected Bill Clinton. The only thing that will save this country is taking back the Republican Party. It's the only thing. And that is an uncomfortable fact, because Republicans tick us off and they hose us over and over again, but it is a fact. Because it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not a fact. And so that's what I worry about. We better focus on the battles we can win right now. Ma'am?
Yeah, you hear these, when you're watching the news or whatever, you hear the liberals call the Republicans the party of no. That hurts. That hurts, the party of no. Because the Republicans aren't doing anything.
Yes, ma'am. She talked about the Republicans being labeled the party of no. When it comes to socialism, when it comes to the government nationalizing industry after industry, the president firing CEOs, moratoriums on drilling, open borders, you're daggone right we're the party of no. We say no to socialism, and we better always. Why run from that label? Own it. We say no to your radical agenda, Gabrielle Gifford. We say no to it. You're right, we do. And we'll present our solutions to it. But that, again, we duck and cover from that, and we see Republican leadership hiding from the Tea Party or something. Well, why? Be bold, for Pete's sake. Right now, the American people are dying for a leader. They're dying for someone with guts. Have it. Stop playing patty cake to protect your congressional pin and sit in Congress and stand up and politically punch someone in the mouth. That's what we need in this country.
See, when you say that gets me fired up. Speaking my language. Jesse, what are the top 3 concerns that you as a congressman plan on addressing, and what are your solutions?
Well, this is always
Just wait when he's.
This is always a tough one to nail it down to 3 because the list is so long of what's wrong right now. So believe me, we can address more. But first and foremost, it is defunding and repealing Obamacare. It must happen. Any Republican running for office in this country who does not commit to repealing it has to go away completely. Do not vote for them. When they own your body and 1/6 of the economy, this country is finished. We have to completely repeal that disaster of a bill. We have to. We need tort reform. We need to purchase insurance across state lines. And sure, we need more free market. We need less government. The healthcare system is fine. It's too expensive because the government controls